All righty, everybody. We are back after eating some stuff and drinking some stuff and ready to continue this kind of bonus little in-between session here where apparently Ulrich thinks he is the master of this domain or something. And but we are back, Doreen, so take it away.
So, we last left Tasso and Connard moving west along the road that they found. Evander, Galen, and Ulrich, you're still in the forest. You just had a strange encounter with some wolves. They seemed to maybe want to attack you, but they didn't really do much before they ran off towards the southeast, which, if you recall, is where you heard the very large, deep, commanding howl of a larger wolf. What would you guys like to do now?
Did it seem at all from the wolf's behavior if they wanted us to follow, or it just seemed like they just changed their attention to something else?
It just seemed they weren't really focused on like you individually, Ulrich. It seemed like they were kind of like looking at you guys as a cluster, as a pack. But they weren't like looking back over their shoulder. None of them stopped and waited and then moved forward. So it didn't seem like they were wanting you to follow.
Okay, and this high up on the slope, can we see anything now in terms of nothing?
No, because right now you guys are technically also right beneath like a tree cluster. So there's not much of a view here.
Well, Evander, since Galen and he seem to not have any clue what's going on, and Ulrich is kind of acting like this is his own, almost like something he has control over. Evander wants to walk up to Ulrich and say, "Do you have any idea what's going on? You seem to understand this place."
I don't know what's going on. That's the beauty of it.
Well, what did that wolf do? Did it attack you? I thought I saw it bite you.
It tore at me, but it didn't hurt me.
Galen's gonna walk up
Okay.
because he's just Evander and him have both had spirit. And I'm going to take my stick and I'm trying to swipe through him thinking he's still a spirit.
Ow!
I wouldn't even need to roll. You
Just like
swipe at him and it hits him. He's
hits him?
solid in front of
Ow,
you.
what are you doing?
just trying to make sure, laddie.
Yeah, Evander looks to.
I'll like poke him a little bit and just go.
Evander's like, he's not a ghost. All right, you saw the wolf bite him.
Fair enough, laddie. Are you with us or are you against us?
I'm with you for now.
Evander's
I look
going to
at
say,
Evander, I
you
just
better
go-
stay with us unless you want to get eaten by that wolf bit at you.
Or maybe you're the ones that'll get eaten. We'll see. And Ulrich just starts walking towards where the wolves were going and still keeping that hovering shadow demon at his side.
Okay.
Evander's
Feel
going to
free
look at
to-
Galen. What do you want to do?
Should we even follow him, laddie? If he gets eaten, we don't have to worry about him anymore.
Evander's like scratching his head. He's like, you're right, but he's also the only other real person we've run into yet. I feel like it's probably better to follow him than just wander
Are you
aimlessly.
sure, laddie? I am with you always, Evander. But are you sure?
Evander just kind of looks around like he's trying to find any clue about what's going on in this forest. And
We have to get our way out of here.
Can we tell, like, from the moon or any like
She
stars?
said that we can't even see the moon.
Yeah.
You said it's
so-
overcast.
Yeah, it's partly overcast skies. The moon is in its new moon phase, so there's really not much that you can gauge from that. And if you're taking time to try to peek for the stars in between the clouds, you will recognize nothing up there.
Okay.
They look different.
Well, Nevender's just gonna shrug, look at Galen, and say, "I got no better ideas than to follow the crazy human."
And there's no mist that we can see, right?
That's a great question. So it's a misty-esque forest. There's always like a little bit of mist and fog hanging
Mhm.
around, especially in like the lower levels.
Right.
But nothing like that's going to encompass you and take you over to where you won't be able to see in front of you.
Okay, but it's visible.
Yeah, it's kind of just like a foggy, misty forest.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like the mists that came when we were transported, right?
Not like that. Not from what you guys can see.
All right.
Is it? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah,
sir.
so go
I
ahead.
was going to say, is it possible to maybe think about what Merrick remembered to see if any of the terrain seems familiar?
This particular terrain wouldn't be familiar to him.
Okay. Then Ulrich is going to stop and turn around and face the other two and cast dancing lights. I'll bring up 2 orbs and
Okay.
say, "Are you coming?"
Where are you going to place those dancing lights?
Right next to me for now.
You should have control over these tokens, right, Archon?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, you do you.
All right. Well, when he says, "Are you coming?" Evander's gonna just like pat Galen on the shoulder and go, "Lead the way. I guess at least I'm not alone out here anymore."
Okay. Then Ulrich turns around and he's going to send the dancing lights a few feet ahead just to create a little bit of so they can see what he's walking towards so he's not totally blind and just trail off where the wolves went.
Sure. So you can follow their trail, and for the sake of brevity, we'll say you guys make your way through the forest, following the trail that they've kind of left behind. They weren't trying to hide anything, and bring you guys back here. And they, as you kind of come out through the tree line, let me just move you here.
Ah.
You see multiple wolves. And in the center is a much, much larger wolf. To kind of give you some type of perspective, this wolf is massive. It is about, you said Ulrich was 5'11". That's pretty much where this wolf's shoulder is. Like, that's how tall this beast is. And he's surrounded by a bunch of other wolves, and there's even more, just because of where you guys kind of came with the map, there's even more behind him. So there's more than what you're seeing here.
It's a pack. What we're looking at, right? Gotcha.
And
okay.
yep. And so the wolves, the smaller wolves, the regular wolves, they all kind of seem pretty ordinary looking, mostly gray fur. Every now and then you'll find some black ones or some ones that are a little dappled with a little bit lighter color, but it's predominantly gray wolves. The large one, dark gray fur, and the shoulders, like kind of creeping up into the neck, are just this dark black fur, kind of like a mantle above it. And he just kind of turns and looks at you guys as you walk out of the tree line. What are you guys doing?
First of
I
all,
pat
I don't
Ulrich
see
on the
my. I don't see my.
Yeah.
Sorry, my.
Evander's not with us.
Yeah. Hopefully, I didn't get eaten on the way.
No, I just forgot to change your thing. But yeah, you're basically right next to Galen.
Okay, great.
There you are.
I'm gonna pat Ulrich on the back and just go, all right, laddie, since you're there, new and improved, show us what you can do.
Wow. I think Orc was hoping he wouldn't have come out and be seen by these things, but I guess they noticed us anyway.
Oh yeah, they would have noticed you guys, especially if you're just following the trail. This is where the trail led.
I like to take a
Um,
couple steps back as well after I pat him.
I'm going to bring the dancing lights down and behind me just so the light isn't all around us.
Okay, yeah, let me pull those out for you.
Since they had the dancing lights out, are we able to see them from our vantage point as well?
Hold on. Yeah, this was the last map I was working in, so I don't think I quite saved it right. But I guess it depends. There we go. Oh, that's way better. Because you guys were walking on forward, so would you, Tasso and Connor, kind of been keeping an eye, checking behind you for the wolves?
I would have been
If so,
kind of backing away, watching for the eyes to see if they're continuing to follow.
okay. All right. And then you would see these lights kind of appear to the north, the tree line to the north of where the wolves are. And you probably, from this vantage point, since, Galen and Evander kind of stepped back, you would definitely see Ulrich. Ulrich, what are you doing?
Wait. Game thing, Crick. I just see a black screen with me and Tasso.
Oh, okay. I see why. Is that better?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. So Ulrich moved the dancing lights behind him just to get him more out of sight, and the wolves are all looking at us.
Yes. They all turn to you the moment you kind of stepped out.
Ulrich brings out the coin again and just takes a couple steps back.
Okay. And upon seeing that, you almost swear that the large wolf in the center kind of smirked smugly. And he lets out this howl. And as soon as his howl ends, the other wolves rush forward.
Hmm.
So at this point, we would need to roll for initiative.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, he's in front of us, so
I took a few steps back.
I went back into the bushes.
Oh, Strahd's here.
Oh no,
it's
not
here?
Strahd!
Oh,
Please
God.
don't kill us. I don't know if mine popped up. Mine was a 14.
And so Connor and Tasso see us also.
If you click your icon, Rand, and
Mhm.
then hit initiative, it'll put you in the tracker.
Oh, whoops.
Okay.
I didn't click mine.
Okay, let me try it again then.
And I actually have an 8. Oh, yeah.
It put me in. Okay, I'm gonna correct it to the right one. 14 is what I had.
Have I actually seen this dire wolf yet, or no? You're muted.
Okay, the answer, Jeremiah, is probably not.
Okay.
You would know that, there are quite a bit of wolves, and one really, really large one back there, but you haven't been able to really see it.
Okay.
So, yeah. Then Tasso, you are up next. So what you can see from your vantage point, because Ulrich does have the dancing lights up there, you would see that light, and you would see Ulrich itself, and you, depending on how hidden Galen and Evander want to be, you might be able to see them.
I would say
Okay.
Evander wasn't hiding. He was just following behind.
Okay.
I don't know about Galen, but
And
The moment I
just-
told him, "Good luck, laddie," I
You
slunk
stepped
back into the bushes. Yeah.
I remember.
So
Just so you guys know, the wolves are going to move together. I
Okay.
didn't roll a separate initiative for each one except for the large dire wolf.
Okay. So at this point in time, I'm going to assume that I don't know the wolves are after them. So this is going to be more of a round where I tap Connard and say, "Look, is that the whatever his name was?" And I start walking toward. So, I mean, I probably get to about here. And it's a casual walk because I don't know what's happening. So.
Okay. That seems fair. And then these wolves, hold on, let me pull up their sheet. They're going to basically rush towards Ulrich and that party there.
Can I do something as they're rushing up?
What are you thinking, first of all? And then I'll tell you if you can.
I just wanted to move my shadow demon in front of me to just interpose itself between me and the oncoming wolves.
To move that as a reaction,
No, it's an action to move it.
then
Yeah,
you can.
okay.
All right, so
I tried.
they have 40 feet. Oh, hold on. Where's my... I forgot. So we have 4 plus. So there's 4 on the map now, but as I mentioned previously, there are even more further back. But
Awesome.
for the moment, we're just going to work with these 4. Okay. So they're going to move. This one, I gotta zoom in. I make these maps like so large, like an idiot.
Thanks, Zach.
That one's gonna move there. That one can probably get there and be fine. No, that can only move there.
The end of Ulrich's grand adventure in Barovia.
And that one can move there. So yeah, so these first 2 are going to take a swipe at Ulrich here.
Deja vu. Durst Manor. Okay.
And hey, you know what? We don't know what's going to happen.
That's true.
Although...
At least there's not a vampire throwing fireballs at you, too.
Yeah, that was bad.
Oof.
Yeah, that
No,
will
it
probably...
just hits.
Oh, it just hits, huh?
Just barely.
Okay. And that's just the first one. But
Beautiful.
before that, you'll need to do a DC 11 strength saving throw.
Our good friends, the wolves. Oh, great. Strength saving throw.
So then you're knocked prone.
I sure am.
And then the next one's going to go...
And they get advantage on me now that I'm prone within melee, right?
Yes. Yep. You get 2.
Okay. Did I take damage from that first knockdown, or it doesn't do damage?
No, it does.
It does. Oh. Oh, there. 7 piercing. Okay.
And then the third one is going to go for you, Galen.
Who was the second one?
Okay.
Was that after me, or was that Ulrich.
No, those were both after Ulrich.
Okay.
And then this one will be for Galen. 14, does that now hit you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
By a lot.
So that's 7 damage. Now, again, if you guys update your hit points on your main character sheet, it will update your tokens, or just keep track of it on your own. I trust you guys.
Okay.
So that ends their turn. Evander, what would you like to do?
All right. I believe the first thing I would like to do is, I believe this is a bonus action. Yes, I'm going to do Mantle of Inspiration, which is a bonus action that allows me to expend one use of my Bardic Inspiration to choose people I can see. Can I see Tasso, or is he outside of 60 feet yet?
Can you... Okay, you didn't link it. Okay.
I did, yeah.
I'm still too far away.
Yeah, he's probably still too far away from you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say you would be able to do this.
Okay. Yeah, because it's a class thing, not a focus spell thing, right? Aye.
So who would you choose?
I can do it up to a number equal to my charisma modifier. So I think I can only see Galen and Ulrich, so I'd probably use it on Galen and Ulrich.
Okay.
Can you use it on yourself too, or no?
It says
You
of
can
creatures
see
I
or
can
you
see.
do.
Can I see myself, or if it doesn't say self, does it not work for self?
This is College of Glamour. That's in Xanathar's? Or
I
is it
don't
in
know which
your
one it's from. I got it from Roll20, so I don't know which one it's in.
Yeah, okay, I see it.
I assume it's on somebody else, like, because it's like Bardic Inspiration.
Well, it says you can spend one use of your Bardic Inspiration to grant yourself a wondrous appearance. When you do so, choose a number of creatures you can see.
Oh, so
You
you,
know what?
become the wondrous sight, and everybody's
Yeah.
inspired.
Yeah, they're
around
inspired
you.
by my appearance. So I
Yeah.
assume I wouldn't
What does it
inspire
look like?
myself. Well, it's the College of Glamour, I think, is like kind of a fae thing. So I kind of pictured it as my elvish mother taught me something about the elves. And so so this is like me almost taking on the mantle of a wondrous fae elf that people don't associate normally with me, and they're kind of awed by it and inspired, basically.
What would it normally look like? Is it just a glamorized you with like long flowing golden hair, bright blue
yeah,
eyes,
I would feel like, my character's a half elf. I would feel like almost like my features morph a little bit into more an taller, more heroic, elvish looking character. Almost
Okay.
something out of myth kind of thing, if that makes sense.
All right. And as you guys see him do this, Galen
Mhm.
and Ulrich, you've seen him do this, before, but Ulrich
Mhm.
only within Durst Manor. But Galen, you know what it should look like.
Mhm.
Surprisingly, it looks different. This glamour he's putting on, it's dark and sinister. It's still awe-inspiring,
Interesting.
but
Okay.
it doesn't look how it should. Instead of
I would say after Evander experienced being destroyed by Strahd as Dargos, it's probably a lot like Strahd, because that kind of intimidated Evander. It might be a vampiric Strahd-like figure.
so a tall, pale, elven-looking, intimidating man.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
That morphs in front of me? Is
Yeah,
that what I'm hearing?
So yeah, when he does this class spell, he does kind of take on a different appearance, and this is now what you're seeing. The effects are still the same. You'll still get everything that the spell allows you to, but it's different, and you notice it. So just tuck
When he
that away.
says when he says that it's Strahd-like, I mean, Oleg didn't have a very good thing going on with Strahd. What,
Well, not many
like,
people.
how
do.
Strahd is it before I divine smite him?
You tell us, Ryan.
I wouldn't say that I'm trying to turn into Strahd, because Evander was scared the crap out of him by Strahd. However, he was also incredibly intimidated and impressed by the power that he showed. So it's almost like Evander is taking on the mantle of his idea of what a powerful vampiric figure would be. So it would be basically Evander's face in vampire form.
And when we get this, we get to a reaction to move immediately, correct?
Yeah, up to 60 feet. No, up to your movement speed, I think.
Without provoking opportunity attacks. I would like to use this now if I can.
Okay. Well, first, before you do that, go back to Galen. So now you're seeing Evander's face in this vision that is very reminiscent of Strahd himself. You can tell it's still Evander. What are you doing in this moment? Because you only have like 6 seconds to kind of decide.
I am going to hit Evander with my stick. Like really, really, really hard, but can I infuse it with some kind of divine energy? As if I'm trying to exercise him.
On your turn.
Okay.
If you wanted to move, now you could. Also, make sure you make note of your temporary hit points.
Yeah,
Ryan,
I got it.
You get
5?
5, yeah.
Every
Gotcha,
turn.
okay.
Yeah, every turn you get
Oh,
5 temporary hit
wow,
points.
Okay.
So Ulrich, if you wanted to move, go ahead and do that.
Yes. So being okay, so I use half my movement to stand up and then scramble between, more like push my way between Galen and Evander, and maybe end up here or so.
Okay. Galen, are you making any movement, or are you just going to stay where you are and then on your turn attack Evander?
Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm not going to attack him. I'm
Okay.
going to exercise him.
Now, keep in mind, you don't know if he's going to attack you.
Right, yeah. Well, my question would be, with my position with this wolf to the right of me, can I move without... Is he close enough to get an attack of opportunity?
So
Evander?
he is.
Okay.
Now, this was a bonus action that you used.
Yeah.
Your bonus action you can spend with your bardic inspiration. So if you wanted to use your actual action to disengage, you can then move away, not have to worry about attack of opportunity.
Okay, I guess I didn't understand about it. So disengage would be my action, and then I could move away. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, then that is what I will do. I am trying to inspire my friends, but not trying to go toe-to-toe with a wolf. So I will use my action to disengage, and then I'm going to move similar to Ulrich, but my movement is... What is my movement? It's 30. So I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. About here. Can I go that far with 30 feet?
Where were you to begin here?
I was right here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Oh, can we move?
Yeah.
It's about here, I guess, or so.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay.
That's fine.
Oh, did I go too far, maybe?
Ulrich?
Oh, it's my turn. Looking at this, Ulrich actually has a certain determination about him. He's going to draw on this new magic that he's discovered and saying the abyssal words, Zalalor. And his form suddenly begins to shift and waver and blur, and he casts blur on himself for protection.
Okay. And can you link that for everyone?
Yes, I can.
Anything else for you?
He's going to move back a little bit further, straight back. Okay, I think that will be it for him. And then question on this inspiration from Evander. This is not the one that gives us the temporary hit points each round, right? That was a different one, like some heroic one? Because this looks like it's just a one-time deal.
Yeah, I
Unless
think
I'm-
it's my spell
Yeah, it's just one
heroism.
time.
I think
Okay.
it's heroism
yeah.
that does. So
Yeah.
this is
Just making
just
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Ulrich's turn.
All right, then. Galen.
Oh, where's
You're
I am going to run towards Evander.
All right. You know, if you
And
do
they're
that,
gonna
you're
get a hit
going.
me. That's fine.
Yep.
Go. I mean, I probably will die before I get there. I just want to get there if I can. If not, it's fine. Yeah, that hits.
All right, so then 10 damage.
Okay.
And then also do a strength saving throw for me.
Give me one moment.
Ooh.
Okay. You make that. What are your hit points at?
19.
Okay. All right, so you're good to go if you want to complete your movement and the rest of your turn.
Okay, I have a ton of conviction doing this. I walk up to Evander and I just infuse my stick of holiness and I just thump him on the head and I just go, "Demon, let go of my friend. The power of the Morden Lord compels you." Smack him, just right on the top of the head.
while
Bad
wolves
dog.
are snapping at you?
Ow!
Okay. Well, go ahead, roll your attack to see if you actually hit him.
The holy newspaper of smiting.
And you're going to do your
Obviously I
damage
missed.
on this, or just the damage with your stick?
Yeah, just the damage with the stick, I guess.
Okay. Well,
I didn't even hit. I don't think I even hit him.
won't hit him anyway. He just kind of ducks out of the way, just real quick.
And shouts,
Evander-
"What are you doing, Galen? What are you doing?" In my normal voice, because I haven't changed my voice at all.
A demon resides inside of you, laddie. I saw it. Now, don't move while I try again.
You fool!
Now it's the direwolf's turn. He's just going to move around.
Now seems Galen as an ally.
So I would say he's probably outside of all your movement or your visions, correct?
Yeah, I see a dark space where he was on the road.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't see any wolves.
I see them at least.
Also, my dancing lights are now gone, FYI, but I put one on myself just for some visibility.
So is it you still have one up on yourself?
I just did just so I could see as the player kind of what's going on, or should I take this off because I'm in total darkness?
It should be there. No.
Okay. Ah!
Poor human.
Oh God.
What would you like to do?
So while these lights were up, he saw figures he thought he recognized.
Yes.
He's going to move up and he's going to cast False Life on himself at second level.
Okay. Thank you for linking that. I appreciate it. Anything else, Connor? I saw that you moved.
It moved and cast. That's it.
Okay. Tasso, you are back up.
All right. So seeing all we saw up to this point was 3 wolves, right?
You saw the 3 wolves. I mean, you know that there's more than that back there. Right now, you probably would have heard Galen shouting, "You got a demon in you, laddie."
Yeah.
So you know that there's more than just Ulrich back there, and you would probably recognize that as the dwarf or whatever. If Conrad's other dwarf, you know that's Galen dwarf.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm probably going to loop more toward the north as I make my way, because knowing that the wolves that we saw with the eyes and everything were to the east, I'm going to take my movement 20, 25, 30, and then probably dash. Do I get the sense, Connor, that you're hurrying in that direction? Okay.
As much as he can hurry while casting the spell.
Right. I just want to make sure I wasn't going to be heading that way on my own. And then I'll continue 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So I'm going to make my way to about here. And that is my movement and a dash.
Okay. All right. And then at this point, I would have Ulrich, Galen, Evander make a perception check for me. And
Okay.
Tasso, you do it as well, but at disadvantage.
Perception.
Okay.
See if I roll above a 5 for the first time today.
You did.
Hey.
Yeah, you kind of have really shitty rolls. All right, so Ulrich and Evander, you are just able to hear. I mean, Galen, you're probably still kind of wrapped up in what's going on with Evander that you don't quite notice. But Tasso, you're a little bit too far back to quite hear this. But Evander, Ulrich, you pick up on the sound of movement. The wolves that were in front of you have now shifted, moved away down the road.
Did we can tell if they're going east or west on the road?
They're going east. Yeah, east.
Okay.
As if they're running away from you.
Huh.
So we could drop initiative now.
Huh.
Again, another weird encounter with the wolves in this forest.
And Evander can kind of bonk Galen on the head. What'd you
So
hit me
I'll
for?
continue my movement forward then to the rest of the team.
Yeah, we're done out of initiative order, so move as freely as you want and talk amongst yourselves.
Ulrich immediately plummets to the ground. He's shredded and bleeding. I have a critical health level. What does that look like?
Ooh, yeah, so he's bleeding profusely, and also you should have a level of exhaustion.
From that. Okay. And that's the red on the token. Red is stress, blue is exhaustion, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But again, you have to update your main just
The
because
sheet.
just because of the way this is set up.
Okay.
It was very annoying, but I couldn't get any way around it.
That's all right.
So what's your hit points at now then?
1.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he basically falls down, and you can see he's just been tore at, and it's just blood everywhere. He's having a hard time breathing as well.
Evander's going to kind of punch Galen in the arms, say like, "What's wrong with you? Why did you hit me?" And then he's going to run over to Ulrich. And I don't know if I can cast any spells at all since I don't have my instrument. Can I cast?
You can't cast any healing spells. You can do a medicine check now if you want to just kind of like stabilize and kind of quote unquote stop the bleeding.
Yeah, I'd like to try to either try to make a bandage out of something. I'll use it. Try to do a medicine thing here.
Tear off a bit of his robe if you want.
Yeah, pretty much. A part that the wolf didn't take earlier.
Okay. All right. So that's enough. You're able to bandage him in a way that he'll at least he won't be bleeding out anymore.
Okay.
He is going to need some serious help though.
Okay.
He probably won't be able to walk on his own. He's going to need assistance, someone helping to keep him propped up. But that doesn't heal any of his hit points.
Sure. Evander will call back to Galen. It's like, Galen, can you help? All you did was hit me earlier. Can you do anything to help Ulrich?
And while Evander was checking Ulrich, he lets him do what he's gonna do, but he's just kind of looking at him with this look of sort of like restrained disdain. But he does say, "Thank you, Evander."
Shogi, you're muted.
When Evander thumps me on the head, does he look like Evander again?
I'm not sure how long this mantle lasts. I don't know if it's just for that turn to inspire people or if I stay that way. I don't know if it really clarifies that.
I would say, well, obviously we're out of initiative order now.
Mhm.
I don't think it clarified it either. I was just reading it.
Yeah.
So I would say it would definitely be for that turn.
Okay.
Let me just double check.
I feel like it would almost make sense if it would be for that turn and then maybe fades after the turn or something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. So if that's what you would prefer, because it doesn't really specify, so.
Yeah, so we'll say it faded after that turn ended, basically.
Okay. So I rub my head where he hit me. And I'm just like, sorry, lad. I saw something that I apologize, Evander. And then I immediately walk up to Connor, put my hand on him, just go, Dwarven brother, it's good to see you, lad.
Hi, Master Brightburn. It's good to see you again, too. Oh, I wish it was under less mysterious circumstances.
Seems that this place is following us wherever we go, it seems now. And I bow when I see Tasso as well. Good to see you again.
I nod as I walk by, and I'm gonna kneel down next to Ulrich and look at him and say, I am going to touch you, odd one. Is that okay? And then I'll go ahead and cast Cure Wounds. So you get 5 HP back. And then does it look like that's going to give him enough to walk, or is he still going to need some assistance?
He might need still a little, he's going to be slow, but he can probably walk for a shortened period of time before he has to rest.
I am now bloodied, says roll 20.
And
Right.
if
I
you're
guess I'll
wondering-
walk over to Ulrich as well and stand over him, and I'll look at him and just go, are you going to play nice, laddie?
Have I not?
No, actually you haven't.
I didn't do anything to you, Galen. You were always nice to me.
Okay, well this is going to hurt, laddie. And I'm going to drive my knee into his sternum again and hold him down. I'm going to lay on hands. I'm going to be nice to you, and I'll give you the full 15.
Wow.
That actually sends me overboard, but I don't know. Does he know that? Just so he's not wasting.
I feel like he would know. He's done this enough. This is part of your training. You would know when to kind of like, okay, cap it off. That's enough.
Okay.
Okay,
So
I just didn't know how many hit points he needed.
I just needed 11, so thank you.
Okay, then I'll give you the 11.
And it's Ulrich. He lets the healing happen, but it's obvious to everyone that like the divine energy is painful to him. And actually, you guys probably also see that his shadow demon is still hovering near him. So you probably notice this now. And when the divine energy is going through Ulrich, it sort of flickers in and out, but then becomes solid again when the healing is done. Thank you.
Indeed, laddie.
As he's being stabilized, Evander actually wants to turn and kind of confront Galen and go, what was that back there? Why did you hit me with your stick?
I saw something in you, laddie. Something dark. Something that it feels like it was from a dream.
Would Evander know that his mantle made him look different than he's used to it doing?
I'm glad you asked that because I was going to mention it. And no, you would not. You assume it looks the same because it's not something that you could visually see
Right.
self. So you would imagine it looked how it's supposed to look.
Okay. Well,
I'll
Evander's
do my
gonna
best to kind of convey a little bit of what I saw to him to
Well,
see if that
Evander's gonna
rings
ask,
anything.
what did you see? What I've used that mantle before. You've never freaked out before.
You turned into something, laddie, that's I don't know exactly how to explain it. It was I can only tell you, I don't even know if this makes any sense. But does Strahd make any sense to you at all, laddie? Does that name make any sense?
Evander's gonna say, of course. I remember in my dream when I was Dargos, Strahd almost killed me. He was
What I saw, laddie.
unstoppable. What do you
Maybe
mean
he resides inside you, laddie.
Strahd inside me? But when I put on my mantle, I'm embracing my elvish side. I don't. You mean I look like Strahd?
Yes. And I give him my stick and I just go, maybe you should hit yourself, laddie. Since I can't do it.
Evander's gonna kind of push him off, and then kind of this is actually troubling to him because he does not want to be like Strahd. He knows from his dream the evil that, or at least the very different type of morality that Strahd would had. So he's kind of disturbed by this.
When I
Alright,
say
then-
that, does anybody else?
Ulrich pipes up and
I was gonna say, hold on. Ryan, add 2 more stress
Okay.
to your level.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, everyone, you guys are now you're close enough to hear this conversation. So you would have heard Strahd, you would have heard Dargos, and that would have all of that would have struck a chord with all of you.
I knew it. I knew that we'd all been here. We were meant to be here. And yes, Evander, you do have Strahd in you. We all have Strahd in us. Because we're wrapped to the destiny of him in this land now.
Evander's gonna deny. It's like, no, don't you say that. I have nothing of that monster in me.
You don't have a choice, just like you didn't have a choice to be brought here.
Gentlemen, perhaps this is a conversation best had elsewhere. I would not be surprised to see these wolves return, and I'd rather not be here when they do.
Fair enough, laddie.
Well, how do we get out of here? I don't know how we even got here in the first place.
I can still remember something of what Merrick does. What about the rest of you? Do you have memories of the people that you were? Something that can help us find some shelter?
You say Merrick?
Yes.
I had a strange dream. There was a person named Merrick in it.
I did too.
I think
Who
we
were
all
you?
had the same dream, gentlemen.
It was no dream.
Yeah, Evander's gonna say, yes, I was Dargos. Who were you? Asking Tasso and Connor.
I seem to experience this dream through the eyes of a human named Anton.
Of course you did.
Tasso, who were you in this dream? Were you Tural?
Is all very fuzzy to me. The name rings a bell.
This is not
I
natural.
remember it. I remember it as if it happened yesterday.
Aye, the same for me. Does anyone remember a very beautiful woman as well? No one? Okay.
And I remember a human. He was almost bald and It's too skinny for my taste, but
Wait, was she bald? I don't recall that at all.
she certainly had less hair than the women I'm used to.
Yeah.
Wait, I missed something.
No female dwarvish beard, I think.
Fair enough.
Her face was bald.
Oh, is that what you mean?
She certainly was not bald. No, she had no facial hair.
Lavender will say, well, Anton sure did attack her. He must have thought there was something wrong with her.
I remember the bride.
We lost Jeremiah.
Just lost Jeremiah.
Well, okay.
Oh, I think he's coming back.
There he is.
Okay, there he
Sorry
is.
about that.
She was a bride, Fatty. She was not the lady of the tower.
Maybe she's still here.
She is. I definitely
I
would
think
like
it is better
to
for us
see her
to
one more
run us
time.
somewhere safer.
The wolves went east down the road. Maybe we can go west.
At least we know east is dangerous. West may be still as dangerous, but
West it is.
Okay.
Lead the way.
West it is.
So you guys head west down the road. And I'm just going to bring you guys to this landing page. You continue on for about like 2 hours. Still, every now and then you can hear the distant howl of a wolf. Ravens within the trees are a constant presence. Again, it's a very misty, foggy type of road and forest. But as you're making your way down the road, you're starting to see bits of civilization. Every now and then you'll find the foundations of what used to be some type of building, maybe a home, maybe a shed. You can see that the woods have been cleared out now, and there seems to be like pasture land or even farmland to both sides of the woods. There's still crops growing there, surprisingly, even under this gray, cloudy, dismal land. They are still able to grow some things. Mostly like it looks like root vegetables. You can see a pumpkin patch on one side as well, with kind of a broken down, maybe burned out home. You continue on unless you guys want to stop in these fields at all.
Seeing this, does it trigger any kind of familiarity for Ulrich?
No, it doesn't. In fact, it doesn't really seem familiar to anyone except for the fact that this is normal human behavior, but it isn't something that you guys would recognize as, oh, I know what this is. I've been here before. However, you continue on, and you do come across something that does strike a chord and does seem familiar. You pass by a manor home with 2 buildings to the side, carriage house, and probably some type of storage area, shed of some sort. I want everyone to make a perception check for me, please.
Hey.
Shoot. Where is my sheet?
All right. So as you guys get closer to this building, it dawns on you. You've seen this before. It's very reminiscent of a dollhouse you once saw.
Hmm.
And you can recognize it as Durst Manor. It's run down. It doesn't look like it's been occupied in a long, long time. Tasso, you see beyond the gate and before the actual front door itself, you see a bunch of bags and cloaks. And one of them is yours. You recognize it as yours. And
My cloak?
yeah, your cloak. Your backpack. There.
Is there a fog around? Like, you know how we saw the fog in the mist before? Is it as
No more.
ominous?
No more than what you saw in the forest. It doesn't give you that same type of ominous, dangerous feeling. In fact, this seems more dead, like abandoned.
I'll start to walk toward it and tell the rest of the group. I think I see my belongings in front of that house.
So you all would have taken note, and you each would have spot something that belongs to you.
And it's clear to all of us that this is Durst Manor.
Yes, at this point,
Absolutely sure. Okay.
it's pretty clear.
I like to cast Divine Sense.
Okay, absolutely. But whereas your last venture into Durst Manor, you remember the first level feeling very lived in. It had the fires
Right,
and
yeah.
the hearths blazing. This completely empty and cold inside.
It's Durst Manor. You see, we're supposed to be here. And
So you
Gonna rush forward and search for his spell book.
okay? Well, Tasso, do you get to the gate first, or does Connor push his way through?
I wasn't going with any speed, so if he is trying to
So
get there quicker, he definitely could.
Passes by you, pushes you out the way, shoves open these rusty gates, which like just creak and scream as they open, and you immediately pinpoint your stuff, Connard. You search through it. Your spell book is there. Your arcane focus is there. Everything that you lost was there. And as you're searching through it, you find something extra. And so now at this point, if you wanted to open what I gave you, you could.
props!
Oh, he's got an envelope.
Oh, it's a real life prop.
Everyone else would also be able to find their own belongings here. But we can
Go for this.
open this if you want. Yeah, so he's the only one that's seeing this and reading this in game and
while
in
he-
person.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
while he's doing
while I see him rush up and clamor through all this stuff, or just wants to look around, like, are we on a street now, in like a village or a town? Are there other buildings?
so this is actually kind of you get the sense that this manor home kind of oversaw a lot of this farmland.
Okay.
At one point, maybe this family owned this land and whatever, but it's obviously falling into
Disrepair.
Yeah.
And the fields look tended here? Or
They're tented, but you don't see any people. Clearly,
people.
no one else is living out here.
There's no one around that we can see that's watching us or anything.
Correct. But
Or
do you
if I-
go get your
Ulrich will walk up and look for what things he has and also cast Detect Magic and get right up to the door and just see if he can sense anything in the house.
Yeah, so neither you or Galen sense any type of magic.
Okay.
But what you do find as you're opening and going through your stuff, a little plant creature pops up, kind of like to say hello. You recognize it.
Is this Delilah?
It is, yeah.
So I guess to everyone, if anyone's standing nearby, there's this little pot and there's this little kind of like Venus, little shop of horrors type of little plant. And Ulrich just looks so excited. He's like, oh man. And he holds the plant close to him and actually like wiggles up and nuzzles against him. And he's just like whispering to it like closely in his hands.
And I thought I liked nature.
He just turns away from the others and he's just whispering and like coddling this pot with this little plant in it.
And Galen, you find your flask.
Would I know anything about what it is?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
But Galen, you find your flask, you find your battle axe, you find all your armor.
Shake it. Is there
It's
anything
all
in it
there.
left?
Oh yeah.
If I shake it, oh,
Mhm.
I take a swig. I immediately take a swig.
And Tasso, you had most of your stuff already. But what you do find kind of nestled within like your cloak is that little wooden figurine that you whittled and
Oh,
within Durst Manor that you handed off. It's
Okay.
it's now there with you.
Hmm.
Evander,
Yes.
you're going through your stuff.
As I'm going through my
Everything-
stuff, I'm humming.
Seems
I'm humming the that lullaby that I had been humming earlier, that I remembered.
okay.
What's her face? I can never. I'm
and
terrible
as
at
you're
names.
doing that
yeah.
kind of mindlessly, Rose,
Not Rose.
probably,
The
or Lavinia.
yeah,
Carlo.
Lavinia. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're going through your things, just double checking everything's there. You're finding all your instruments. Oh yes, thank you.
Oh, my
thank you.
lute. Yes.
And then you find a doll at the bottom of your backpack. It's the same doll you found within Durst Manor that you once, at the end, gave to Rose and Thorn. It's kind of like a goodbye present.
Mm-hmm. Just gonna say Rose. Ah, Rose.
Can we all see this happening?
Yeah, I would assume he would hold it up and
Yeah, I'm holding it, kind of just inspecting it, and with a smile on my face, remembering Rose.
This should be proof enough that these weren't dreams.
question. Do I still have the noose that I cut down in the basement?
you do.
Do I still have the scroll of spiritual weapon from the study?
Unfortunately, where that was in your bag, it's now just rotted dust and pieces of paper.
Ugh, just get to clear it out.
Well, gentlemen, seem to have been delivered a letter from one Strahd von Zarovich, spoken up to his land. He says he will make certain that our paths cross. Well, yeah, there you go.
I had a different handout. Let me check for it. But yeah, so that's basically what Connard found.
Do you want me to read it out loud at all?
I thought I had saved it to where you could actually see in print underneath what it actually, without the fancy cursive.
Yeah. I think I can read it. Greetings, citizens. Let me be the first to bid you welcome to my land, Barovia. I am certain our paths will cross often. In fact, I will make sure of it. If you walk my land, then heed my laws. This is a warning for those that would defy my will. Pay your taxes. Do not harm the Vistani. Do not enter Castle Ravenloft without expressed invitation. I look forward to learning more about all of you. I shall call upon you all shortly. Best regards, Strahd von Karovich?
Zadovich.
Zadovich. Thank you. Strahd von Zadovich.
Yes. Yeah.
Do we know what the Vistani is?
No,
Through the Merrick's knowledge, maybe? No.
not through me.
No.
At the reading of this, Ulrich is elated. You see, we were supposed to be here. He was waiting for us.
Why are you so happy about this, laddie?
Yeah, Evander's gonna second that. Yeah, Strahd a monster. We all saw it.
He is a monster. But there's things more powerful than Strahd, and we don't know what they have planned for us.
Everything all right, lad? You seem a bit different from last time we met.
Oh, he's different. He's different, Conrad.
Yeah, you could say that again.
I'm much better than I was.
Better?
So now we're here.
Evander,
I
what
should
did you
like
say?
to
Oh, I just said better? I don't know about better.
Okay. Connor?
I should like to investigate this house a little bit and just see how closely it matches my recollection of this place. I'm not certain that everything we experienced in this house actually happened.
So you want to go
Sure.
inside?
To do
He's
that.
gonna-
Want to check
Yeah.
the outside?
He would like to make his way to the study first.
Okay.
Oh, we're going inside.
Well, just from your viewpoint outside, it does match what you know about Durst Manor. It has the 3 levels and then the attic above it. As you walk in, the door is weirdly unlocked. But again, this entire the foyer, which at one point was beautiful and it had the family portrait and the crest on one side, all of that is just in disrepair. It's basically deteriorating. There's no lights. There's dust everywhere. It looks like no one has been in here for many, many years. You go to the study, and that's nearly basically the same as when you left it, just more covered in dust and whatnot, and cobwebs everywhere. What are you looking for in here?
He wants to look at the books and see if they are the same as the books that he remembers seeing in here. Particularly, he's also going to try to find that secret compartment, see if it still exists and it opens the same way, and if there's still that chest in there.
Okay. And
Ulrich
while
will follow him in.
what is everyone else doing, seeing Connor just walking to this house?
Ulrich will, unless he pulls out a torch, Ulrich will cast dancing lights and follow Conrad in.
Okay.
Gleefully so.
Evander. Go ahead, Tasso.
Yeah, I mean, I'd look over at Galen and be like, "Is this such a great idea?"
Be honest, I don't think so, laddie. I don't want to go back in there.
Nor do I.
Yeah, Evander kind of looks between them and yeah, my memories aren't fond. Although
Not at all.
I am curious if Rose is. We laid her to rest in there, didn't we?
And Tasso, you would, just out of the corner of your eye, up above on the 3rd level, you think you see a curtain move.
I don't tell anybody. I just look and I go, this is not a good idea.
But Connard in the study, what books you do find there, they are basically falling apart in your hands. You don't find any that you feel would be useful to you. But there are quite a number of books missing from when you guys were first here.
Okay. The secret compartment.
Secret compartment is there. Looks exactly how it was before.
So there's books missing, but is there anything that's still legible remaining on the shelves? Because Ulrich wants to find the book that mentioned the year 973 and see if there's any other book that mentions a different year, to see if there's been some kind gauge, like the passage of time, if any has occurred.
As far as what you're seeing in here, nothing that would suit what you're looking for. Because again, there's quite a number of books missing from when what you remember should be here. And what's kind of left are a lot of fiction writing. There might be a little bit on, cooking and, things like that, martial wars and things like that, but nothing that you would probably be interested in.
And keeping my detect magic going as we make our way now into the house, am I picking up anything?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
Connard will use his mage hand to try to open the chest in that secret compartment.
Okay.
And that was trapped.
Yep. It's there's no trap there now, but it does open into, just kind of like pull out, and it does kind of open into, like, what was it, like the ladder that went down into the basement.
Well, Ulrich, shall we go see what's in the basement?
There was undead in there last time. Hopefully they're all gone now.
I yell from the outside, not a good idea.
Who are you guys?
Do you have anything that can detect undead or can see down there before we go in?
Do not.
Evander wants to actually cautiously approach the door, not actually go in, but like move cautiously, not excited like the others were, but kind of curious to see if, I don't know, if anything. He's kind of fascinated by this doll and wondering if Rose's presence is still somehow connected to this house. So he's gonna, like, almost entranced, move closer towards the door.
Okay.
What are you doing, Evander?
Kind
Don't
of
go in, laddie.
distracted, he say, I don't know, I just have to know if Rose's spirit is still here.
She's moved on, laddie.
Are you sure? How can you know?
I'm sure, laddie.
Evander will step up to the door but not go in, just kind of look inside, almost like, I don't want to say longingly, but like he really wishes he knew if anybody was still here, if any of the Rose, Thorn, Lavinia, if anybody is still there. His curiosity is really getting the better of him.
Okay. And as you kind of make your way in, it's very still in the house. I will say you kind of pick up on a sense of silence, stillness, peacefulness. But you don't see a little girl ghost come out and greet you.
I'm going to just kind of wander, like lost in thought on the first floor.
Okay. So if you recall the first floor, you walk into like the foyer that had the grand staircase that went all the way to the third floor. There was the den
Mm-hmm.
to the south.
I believe
and
to
then
the east was that little room where Rose was, right? With the little, was there a piano in that room?
that's on the second floor.
It's on the second floor. Okay.
But you first encountered Rose and Thorn in the Wolf's Den
Yeah.
to the south.
Okay. That's what Evander's going to do. He's going to kind of just wander to the rooms that he met and talked to her, those different places.
Okay. All right. I'll come back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Connor, Ulrich, are you going to go down into the basement?
Question first. When we found the letter that Strahd sent to Lord Durst, did we find that, was it in Lavinia's chamber upstairs?
It was not in her chamber.
Or
It was in
like
the trunk where her dead body was disposed of. It was
okay.
actually, in my mind, I think I forgot to mention it, but it was like stuffed in her mouth, crumpled up, stuffed in her mouth.
Okay. Good to know. Ulrich tells Connor, yes, I can create lights to light the way, but we should be mindful of traps. Remember last time.
Very well.
Connor?
So Ulrich
Well-
casts 4 orbs and sends them ahead of the 2 of them to light the way.
Okay. It's a pretty long way down. You guys are just going to continue to follow?
Yes.
For now.
Okay. So as you guys are making your way down this very long ladder deep into the basement below you, Evander,
Mm-hmm.
while you're kind of lost in thought, thinking about Rose, looking at the doll, you hear like the tip, tap, 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 tap of paws walking on like a marble floor. And
I
you
immediately perk up.
you turn to where the sound's coming from, and throughout, just beyond the door, you see the face of a dog. This dog is familiar to you. It's Prince Charming.
Prince Charming.
Yay! Ruffles.
However, he doesn't look how you remember.
Hmm.
He is very, very skinny, very malnourished. His fur is matted and dull. He just kind of looks at you, and his ears kind of fall flat, and he just is a little bit scared when he sees you. But also, you can see a glint of hopefulness, like, are you here to help me? Kind of look to his face.
Evander wants to immediately grab something from a ration that he has in his pack that he recovered, and very, very cautiously hold it in his hand and kind of get down on one knee and say, Prince Charming, do you remember me? We were your friends.
And he kind of backs away, like kind of scared at first, just at the movement of you bringing something out. But then he catches the scent of the food that you're holding, and his ears perk up a little bit, and he begins to tentatively, cautiously walk towards you, nose in the air, sniffing. And
I'll take a bite myself to show that it's good, and then hold out the rest to him.
comes up and, keeping his eyes on you, he grabs the food real quick and then scurries back out. But you can still hear him kind of munching on the ration outside the doorway.
I want to quickly move to the hallway just so I can see out the front door. I want to
Okay.
call out and say, Tasso, your friend, the dog, he's still here. Prince Charming is here.
Who's Prince Charming?
Scruffles, the dog that
Scruffles! I go running in
Okay.
immediately.
And by this time, I would say you guys have made your way down into the basement.
Checking for traps, please.
For all the traps you want, you don't find anything. It's very still down here. The smell is of like dank mildew. Where are you guys going in here?
Ulrich will ask Connor, what are you looking for down here?
I'm just trying to verify whether everything that we experienced actually happened. So I'm looking for anything that might contradict what we seem to experience here. Um, any tunnels that don't extend the same way, different names on the crypts, things like that.
It all
So-
looks the exact same. As you're making your way through the basement, nothing seems different, out of place.
Should we
Where-
go to the altar?
So the corpses that were interred, it's still the same number of corpses, no more, no less.
Yes.
Do the names still sound familiar?
Yep.
Based on what we had read.
Yes.
And we're not hearing scratching from behind the tomb doors.
Nope. Again, it's completely silent.
Well, let's check the altar then.
All right. You guys will make your way to the altar. Galen, are you still outside? Did you
I
follow?
will not go inside.
He's just
I
trying
have
to get.
no business to going inside there at all.
Okay.
I will
You're-
just stand by the door, just looking in. As I see Tasso, who's the only person left out there with me, has now rushed inside.
Okay. And Tasso, you see Scruffles there in the hallway. And again, he's not how you remember seeing him. He's obviously not been well taken care of. He's maybe been on his own starving for who knows how long.
Okay.
Um,
So I'd
Go.
like to take the water skin that I had in my old bag of stuff and at least sniff it to see if it smells fresh or if it's gotten musty or nasty.
it smells good.
And okay, I put some in my hand and try to coax them over to take a little bit. And I'd like to try to coax him outside because I don't want to be in here any longer than I have to, but I want to save Scruffles, so I'm going to try and coax him out. And
Okay.
I'll conjure a good berry as well and try to food and water.
All right. He is interested in the water. And he does kind of like look at you for a moment, meets your eyes, and then kind of relaxes a bit. And
Yeah, Scruffles, it's me.
he walks over to you.
Yeah, Scruffles, let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's get you safe.
A little bit of the water. So you're kind of like just moving it, like, like a carrot on a stick, like moving him back a little bit.
I mean, I'm giving him some. He obviously needs some, but then I'm trying to like just slowly, because I don't want to pick him up. He might be, scared or whatever. But as soon as I feel like I could, I want to get him out of there.
All right. Okay, so he's going along with it. Evander, what are you doing?
Well, after seeing that Prince Charming is still alive, Evander's even more curious. So he's actually, he wants to go upstairs to the room that he laid Rose to rest in, the one that had the dollhouse. He wants to actually, this might sound a little creepy, but he actually wants to pull out his lute, start play Lavinia's, what is it called?
Lullaby.
Lullaby again, as he's kind of walking through the house, and he wants to go up to that room and see if where
Okay.
they laid to rest, if there's bones or however they had done it.
All right.
Yes.
It takes you a little bit of time, but you know the way. You remember it. Everything is the same except for the fact that it's covered in a large film of dust that has just been untouched for who knows how long. But you make your way up there. The door, which is normally locked, is actually unlocked for you. And you walk in and you see the skeleton of two children kind of hugging each other. And laid upon that is a doll. But this one is kind of rotted and worn away, whereas the one that was in your pack looks brand new. And you hear, just for a quick moment, you swear you heard Funny Man. Rose giggle.
Evander's gonna kind of smile and nod, like knowing that what they had done before actually seemed to bring peace. And he will sing another verse of the lullaby up there, and then kind of almost like a bow, because he knew that she liked his juggling, his performance. Kind of bow, and then say goodbye, Rose, as he walks back down outside to where Galen is.
Okay, well, while you're making that way down, Ulrich and Conrad, unbeknownst to you, are deep within the bowels of this house, the altar. So you guys have made your way through. The portcullis is up.
I check it. Yeah. Looks secure.
It looks secure, yes. There is still a lot of murky, gray, dark water surrounding the altar.
Ulrich kind of just points a foot and just kind of like splashes in the water a bit to see if anything reacts that may be in there.
Okay. And as you do that, it splashes, it ripples out from where you are, and then you see a ripple coming back towards you. And then suddenly you see these branch-like vines whip up, and something just kind of reveals itself from the water. It's this big plant mound type of thing, and it's headed right towards both of you. It's moving really quickly. And you can feel the house as this thing is lumbering towards you. You can feel it shake. You can even feel a little bit of gravel fall upon your scalps.
We just had to look.
Howard's gonna see if he can close the portcullis.
Well, Evander, you would also feel the house shake suddenly and very violently.
How close was I to the entrance?
You are still on the 3rd floor.
Oh gosh.
So you're right at the entrance with Scruffles. And you can hear the house moan and shake. Galen.
I scoop up Scruffles and get out.
Okay. He doesn't really fight you on that because he heard it. He's kind of freaked out and just kind of froze. And so you just scoop him up and you rush out. Galen, you would see literally like the house kind of weaving and moving.
I get the sense that it might be like an earthquake.
Kind of, but just within the house itself. You could try to close the portcullis. Zach, give me, I don't know, just give me just a straight D20.
Is this something he's doing physically that I can help him with, maybe?
It's just happening so fast that you probably won't. But that's just enough that you start to see the portcullis come down, but it hasn't come all the way down. So at this point, yeah, Ulrich, you'd be able to see that he's trying to push this to get it closed.
It's like a crank or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I help. Is there time to move it down more? Is it going to get us?
It's coming right at you. This is happening really, really quickly. I'm not even going to bother to do rounds and stuff like that.
Okay.
Because it's moving so quickly. The house is literally falling on top of you.
Okay, really quick. So how high is the door that the portcullis is?
7 feet, I assume.
And how far has the actual portcullis moved down?
I'm going to say 4 feet.
Oh, so it's got 3 feet. Does it look like it can squeeze through 3 feet?
You don't know? Evander, you're going to make your way down.
Yeah, as soon as it starts shaking, I want to run down the stairs to try to get out of the house.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would be yelling for Evander.
All right.
Evander, laddie, get out!
And
Get out of there!
Evander, as you're making your way down the staircase, one hand on the banister, the other hand, just kind of out there trying to keep your balance as you're running down the stairs. You feel someone grab your hand, and you look down and you see Rose, and she's kind of guiding you, helping you down the stairs.
Rose, help! I'll just follow her.
Ulrich and Conrad, what are you doing?
Ulrich yells, "Run!" and just starts dashing up the stairs with his dancing lights.
Okay.
Honored casts Expeditious Retreat and then follows after.
Okay. So you just leave Ulrich in the dust. I still
He
need
took his advice. Run.
to make a dex check for me.
Both of us or just Connor?
No, both of you, please.
Oh God! Is it like a dex check or some kind of saving throw?
Dex check. Again, I'm going off the cuff here because
okay.
I didn't actually expect you guys to go into this house that bothered you so much.
Okay.
Connor, you kind of stumble a little bit as one of the stairs cracks underneath you. You kind of lose your footing for a moment, but you're still like 30 feet ahead of Ulrich. Evander, I need you to also make a dex check for me with advantage, please.
Okay. And I hope I can do this. Dex. What the hell?
Wow.
Oh no.
I tell you, roll 20.
The hell?
Oh my God!
You gotta kick Rose to the curb.
Rose
She's
frozen
bad
down the
news.
stairs.
How the hell do I get a double nat 1? What?
That is highly unusual.
Oh my God!
The worst
So
advantage ever.
I will say the banister that you're holding on to kind of falls away and
Uh-huh.
you nearly fall down 2 flights of stairs. But luckily, Rose is holding your hand. So
So I only roll down the stairs instead of falling off the stairs.
you waste a lot of time
Mhm.
keeping your footing. So that's going to kind of count against you, but you don't actually fall.
Oh,
I mean,
thank
that's-
God for Rose.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate, but
Wow. So he doesn't take any damage from the fall.
no, he doesn't
That's
take
good.
any
That's good.
Connor and Ulrich make another dex check because you could hear at this point the sound of metal and stone just bursting through. And if you take Ulrich, you're in the back, you would take a quick glance and you could see this thing moving up the stairs, slashing, bashing against the walls.
Ah! Okay. Dexterity. Oh God. Oh. All right.
Nice. Okay, you guys keep moving without having any type of damage. You're still not out of the basement yet. Again, this is like really deep. Evander, you're probably now at the 2nd floor, heading down into the 1st.
Okay.
So make another dex check, again with advantage for me, please.
Rose, help me. Let's see. Is it this? Okay, there we go.
Oh.
That's better.
Okay. All right. So thankfully, first
I
you
only
rolled
roll 1s and 20s, nothing in between.
So this time, Rose takes a stronger grip on your hand. She looks directly at you, and she says, "Don't worry, funny man. I will protect you and lead you out of this house."
Thank you, Rose.
And you easily make it down to the 1st level, off the staircase now. So you're in that grand foyer.
Mm-hmm.
Directly in front of you is the hallway that leads out of the building, but we'll get there in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Ulrich and Connor, one last dex check to get out of the basement and back into the study.
Does it sound pretty close to us?
It's very close.
Okay.
It's moving ridiculously fast. Plus, you have the stairs, the walls falling and crumbling around you.
Oh, no.
So, unfortunately, Ulrich, at this point, so this is really a ladder that you guys are like clambering on to get up into the study, and you lose your grip, and you slip down the ladder, and it takes a while before you can really grab hold again. So that's going to be 7 damage there, because as you fall down, you feel the whip of something hit you on the back.
Ah!
And you can see that this shambling mound is like literally just moving itself up the shaft towards you. And it's pretty damn close to you, Ulrich.
Like how close?
It's like within probably like 10 feet since you fell that way.
Do I have time to cast a spell?
Not at this moment, because we're moving on to
Okay.
Evan.
Okay.
The last dex check to see if you safely get out of this house.
Okay, one more time. Rose, help!
Okay. And she pulls you through into the hallway, and you can almost feel her little hands at your back shoving you out of this house.
And I kind of jump with her and jump out the window, or not the window, but the door, and kind of roll on the ground as she pushes me out.
Galen, you would see him kind of like moving out, like as if he is pushed out, but you don't see Rose.
Catch Evander.
What'd you say?
Sorry, what was that?
I would try to catch him if I feel like he's being thrown out or anything like that.
All right, I'll have you do a dex check too. This is just to see what happens.
Oh, he runs me over.
Yeah, so surprisingly, he was pushed out with such a force, maybe an unnatural, supernatural force, that kind of, the gate is still open, but there's these little steps, and he just kind of like falls down them, and you try to catch him, but it's just not enough, and you each will just take two damage.
Okay.
For fun. Connor, first, go ahead and make a dex check for me.
Oh man.
Okay.
Don't fall on me.
So as you through the study, Connor, one of the bookcases kind of falls loose and kind of collapses on you for a moment. So you need to take some time to get free of that. That will be 5 damage to you.
Does it fall because of the shaking or of its own accords? Okay.
No, because of the shaking. Ulrich, make another dex check. And you mentioned you wanted to do a spell.
Yeah. What should I do first?
I'm going to say it's going to be one or the other.
Gosh.
You can make a dex check to try to continue to get out of this house, or you can take time to do a spell. Quickly.
Okay, I'm just going to run up. Scramble. Dex. Come on. Oh.
All right. Okay. So with that roll, you're able to get out of the shaft where the ladder is. So you're now in that little secret compartment in the study. And as you're making your way out of there, you can hear, like you can almost even feel the wind of this vine whipping out, and you can feel the floor shake as this thing pushes itself, breaks the floor to kind of make its way up into the first floor level. So you're Conard, one last one.
Run!
All right. As you're making your way a little unsteady, but you're finally right at the door. You can see your compatriots on the other side. Ulrich, one more.
Okay, so Conrad is now where? In the
At the front door.
A front door.
But he still hasn't gone out of the house yet.
You left me behind. Okay. Let's...
Oh, yeah, he left you behind a long time ago.
A while ago.
Okay. So you kind of caught up a little bit. So you've made your way out of the study into the grand foyer.
Okay. And this thing...
Oh yeah, it's still right on your heels.
Oh, like it busted through the trap door, like it's behind. Okay.
It is destroying this house to get to you.
Oh,
Connor, one last one, and you'll probably get free unless you roll a natural 1.
Good job.
So you're able to maneuver yourself out of this house, through the gate, down the steps, without any type of damage. Ulrich, give me one more.
Oh, God. Oh. I just had a feeling.
As you're making your way through, you get to the hallway. You can see the end of like the doorway. Everyone else is on the other side. And then with the shaking of everything that's happening, the family crest that was on the wall falls on you. A big, heavy shield with swords, and that's going to
no, not again.
7 damage to you as well.
Man. Oof.
But eventually you work yourself free. You make your way out. And at this point, everyone on the outside can see these vines whipping around the doorway. And this creature, it's full of just wetness, decaying leaves, dirt, mud, is kind of pushing itself out towards you guys on the outside of this house.
Is there any other shelter in sight? Any other buildings? Anything down the road?
But you do hear, "Aye! Oi! Get over here! Get over here now, man!" You look around and you see this gentleman in brightly colored clothing. Behind him is this large wagon being pulled by 2 horses. And he says, "Come, let's go! What are you waiting for? Come on!"
Evander's going to try to grab Ulrich since he's looks in bad shape and try to drag him and run with him to try to get to this carriage away from this thing.
Just trying to run.
Ulrich is out of the house?
Yes, now everyone is out of the house. This
Okay.
creature is now pushing itself out of the house as well towards you guys.
Oh. I'm reminded of that scene in Lord of the Rings when like the water sentinel is like coming after him.
What did you laddies do in there? Good God.
Just
Oh,
run,
no,
just go.
talk later.
So you guys make your way towards the strange gentleman.
Yes,
At
yes.
top speed,
Okay.
yes.
All right. And again, he's brightly colored, a little bit of a belly on him, a trim black beard, black hair that kind of falls down to his like past his chin. And he rushed, like kind of motions you guys to go into the back of the wagon. And now as you guys are getting closer, you see that there's actually one other person on the top of the wagon, kind of holding the reins of the horses. And the last of you kind of get in. He follows suit, closes the door behind you, and just kind of thumps up to the top of the wagon. And suddenly it takes off. And he kind of looks back at you. He says, "Why were you messing around in Durst Manor? Are you mad as a wax banana? I mean, no one goes into Durst Manor." And
They call me the dumb one. I said it was a bad idea.
that's where we will.
We gained valuable knowledge.
Did we?
So we'll pick up there.
We gain valuable scruffles.
Oh yeah.
Scruffles,
I
that's
guess you guys haven't seen
Yeah.
Scruffles up to this
Save
point.
Scruffles. It was a worthy rescue mission, is what it
well,
was.
We
Scruffles
gain
wasn't down in
valuable
the basement.
scruffles.
I'm just saying.
Oh man, that was a good one.
Scruffles is in there with you.
Yes,
Nice. Well, that's the most important thing.
that's all I have.
My
Also
pulse
good
like
to
literally, like when I was trying to run out and how do you make those dex saves and I have like horrible dexterity, I was like, oh my god, like my heart was seriously beating.
I was afraid we were losing you there. I really was.
Oh, every time.
All right. Well, that is all I have for you guys now.
Yeah,
Hey,
we can't have an episode without Ulrich almost dying, you know.
I guess it's the thing. Yeah.
It's the new shtick.
He talks a big game though.
Yes,
He
he
really
certainly
does.
does.
Yes,
He found some big boy pants in those 3 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know what
Since
happened in those couple weeks.
Didn't quite follow through though, but he talks a big game.
Well, that was awesome, Doreen. Thank you
That
again
was
for
awesome.
another great
Thank you very
session.
much.
thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And we're on break now till the new year,
that's
yeah?
right.
Yeah, so we're gonna be on holiday break. Sorry to all of you who want to keep playing. I have too many Sunday gigs coming up, so I didn't want to mess with people's schedules too much.
Yeah, plus the
No, that's good.
holidays, you know, they're always gonna get in the way.
Yeah, they can always play havoc with everyone. But this was a blast.
I will say, even though our time is passing, I'm keeping track of what's happening in Barovia day by day by day. So nothing is going to change here. So, like I said, I've mentioned you guys still might have a Christmas in Barovia.
That would be awesome.
All right.
All right. Very cool.
I hope so. The problem is that letter said something about taxes, and I'm anti-tax.
All right.
The other
why I
stuff
live in
is
the
fine,
forest.
but like the taxes, that's a problem.
Trees
Sure,
don't.
will not get along.
Right. Trees don't charge
But yeah, that's
taxes.
all I got.
So.
Good point.
That's right. Well, all right. Well, we're going to call it there. So thank you all the folks who watched, for News, Nietzsche, and all you wonderful folks. Hope you all had a great time. We always have a blast with these wonderful folks in Barovia. One last time, I want to say thank you to Archon, Doreen, Jeremiah, Scott, and Zach here. Thank you all for making this a blast. I'm having a ton of fun with this. So
It's been great. Yeah. Thanks,
all
everyone.
right. Well, if we're not going to see you, so Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving, and until
Merry
it's
Christmas, happy holidays.
Happy holidays, and until it's Christmas in Barovia, we will see you all next time. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Santa Strahd. I will need presents.